My name is Mike Sullivan. I'm a former IRS agent. I worked at IRS for a decade. I have been in private practice for 41 years, and I am a national expert. I've been on all the major TV stations. I've been on Fox Business News twice, ABC, the Washington Bureau, NewsNation, all the stations. Go to my website at 777irs.com and just learn about me. I want to talk to you people who want to represent yourself on IRS tax debt, and I want to give you the tips, what you need to know, so you can, if you want to do this yourself and you don't have the money, you can. If you don't owe a lot of money and you can't afford a professional, then you're going to have to do this by yourself. You are not going to get the same result, I'm going to tell you now, as someone like me or someone. It's impossible. But I do want to help you through that, at least so you can have a couple of the tips that I know, so you understand the system. If you owe a lot of money, over 50, 60,000, do not represent yourself. You can. You're not gonna. The money that you think you would save, you're gonna lose at the back end. But let me tell you at least some tips, because everyone needs to know those. And I hate for people that call IRS not knowing what's going on. So generally, IRS has to go ahead and have a method in which they could judge everyone universally the same. Makes sense? They can't treat someone in Florida, someone in Washington differently, and they can't treat people with different incomes differently. So IRS does this. They take a financial statement, a 433F if it's at the service center. You can download them and look at them. Or the 433A if you owe personal debt, with a revenue officer. So it all depends where your case is. In the local office, the 433A, and the service center, when you're first getting your bills, the 433F. It's much better to deal with the service center if you can. When IRS gets this information and takes the financial statement, the two things that they're looking at is your income and they're looking at your expenses. But what they're going to drill down on your expenses is this. You're going to write your expenses on these financial statements, and IRS is going to say, gee, that's great, we know that now, but we can use that against you. How? They are going to go get the national standards that they must use from the Department of Labor and apply them to your case. Now you're going to say, well, how and where do they do that? Well, they can, because they're the IRS. Where are they? Go ahead and Google the IRS National Standards for, and these are the expenses they're going to apply them in. Food and clothing, housing and utilities, car expenses, and car ownership and car expenses. Those four areas, IRS is going to scratch yours out and put those in. Thus, many people wind up with a huge payment agreement they can't afford because they get nailed by the IRS National Standard. Remember, make sure all your tax returns are filed. That's really important to the IRS, that they're filed. The other thing you want to always do if you have IRS debt is you want to show IRS you've stopped the problem. You've made estimate payments during the year and your withholding is up to date. So that's the best that I got you. If you want to do it for free, have at it. It's always best. Like I said, the professional is going to get the better result. However, if you have to do it by yourself, make sure you understand the national standards and make sure you have all your tax returns filed. And I wish you the very best of luck. Give me a subscription. I try to answer all questions emailed to me or texted me. I try. Thank you very much. I appreciate subscriptions.